Hi, I'm Kathy Dodson.
And I'm Jocelyn Lindsay. Welcome to another episode of 5 Minute Indie Insights, publishing tips and tricks in 5 minutes because we believe in real talk about publishing. No frills, no fluff, and no fancy Canva graphics.
I love fancy Canva graphics.
I do too,
But
but they take too long.
today we're talking about conferences. I'm sure we could find a writing related conference to go to every week of the year if we wanted to. And there are so many different kinds.
Absolutely. I love writing conferences. I could spend my entire life traveling around in an RV, going to conferences all the time. Some people follow the Grateful Dead. I could follow writing conferences, but then I'd get no writing done.
Yeah, so I know about that because my husband went to over 90 dead shows. um, but here, let's define what we mean by conferences. We're going to use the words retreats, conferences, and conventions interchangeably. There are no hard and fast rules, but here's what we've seen. Writing retreats usually provide some instruction with time to write. Writing conferences run the gamut, but they usually have several tracks, including craft. They often have awards. Sometimes there are chances to interact with agents or publishers, and they usually provide networking opportunities.
Yep. And conferences can also have a reader component, like author panels, book signing sessions. And a lot of times you'll find that conferences can be sorted into genres, whether it's a romance, there's RWA, the Romance Writers Association, there's science fiction conferences, there's Thriller Fest, there's ButcherCon. So you can find any like flavor of conference you're looking for. And while that's really wonderful, sometimes that can be problematic if you're me and you want to go to everything. But you can also find conferences on a geographical location like San Diego's Writers Conference or the Rocky Mountain Writers Conference or the Pacific Northwest Writers Conference or both, like Left Coast Crime. It is a genre and it's a location. And these days, especially since the pandemic, a lot of conferences are offering a virtual attendance. So you can go in person or virtually. So what do they all have in common? They can get really expensive, especially if they require you to take a plane, or get and rent a hotel. The conferences are not a budget friendly way to go.
No, they're not, but there are some benefits to spending that money. You can meet lifelong friends at conferences. Jocelyn and I first met at the 2018 WFWA Writers Retreat in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yay!
Yes, and that's just fantastic. You can also learn about craft, marketing, publishing, and lots of other things from experts in the industry. And also, conferences, conventions, retreats, they can inspire you, whether it's your next novel that they're inspiring or your entire writing career.
Yeah, and we've got over the last couple years, especially, we've gotten a lot pickier about the conferences that we go to, partially because the more we learn, the more we're focused and we narrow down our thinking, or at least try to narrow down our thinking to something specific that we can get at a conference, but also because publishing is expensive.
Absolutely. Sometimes you just have to ask yourself, should I go to this certain conference or should I get a new cover?
Yeah.
And, that's a really hard choice.
Oh,
Sometimes you
yeah.
got to go for the cover.
Yeah, well, a lot we talk about that a lot. It's like, well, we could go to this conference, but how many covers is that? How many, how many edit rounds is that? So that's become like our new currency of how do we decide what we're going to go to. So to conference or not, yes, definitely conference. Like Kathy said, we met at a conference and we have been talking with each other ever since. And so definitely conference, but you've got to choose wisely because you can get into a conference routine and never get out. You don't want a conference to become a distraction from your writing because without your writing, there's no reason to go to a conference. So we right now need to go write. So we're done. Don't forget to subscribe.
See you next time.
Bye.